Pittsburgh Pap just signed for his from a FedEx guy to run out on the porch and sign for a package from Xfinity's fulfillment center for my new smartphone, my first smartphone. Up until today, I've been running with a 6-year-old LG 670G that makes a nice reflection of me and my camera, doesn't it? Anyway, it's a 3G, and I've had it for 6 years, working on my third battery. There's a video out there on how to replace that. But it was time for me to upgrade, and I'll tell you why in a few minutes. How I picked this phone and the service that I'm going to use to operate the phone. Because I think I did spectacularly on that, and you may also. So let's see what's in the box. Now we're talking. Everything to enjoy Xfinity Mobile inside. Happy unboxing. Well, we are unboxing. Ready, set, activate. This has a SIM pre-installed on Android. Don't turn on your phone yet. Visit xfinitymobile.com. Activate. Well, I'm still going to take it out of the box. Now, what I just read to you is important because it's part of my selection process on what my first smartphone was going to be. Because this smartphone, when I'm done paying for it, is going to cost me $124. It's a Motorola E5 Play. And I could have got it for $60 if I would have been wedded to a different service, you know, like Cricket or Bruce Mobile or whatever. I always think I have trouble hearing, so Boost Mobile became Bruce Mobile after watching a bunch of their commercials. I can never understand what they're trying to tell me. Here's my phone. They put my name in there. Aren't they cute? I go by a lot of names. I'll have to put down the phone to see if there's anything underneath there. Hopefully there's some wire. No, basically just a packing list and information on recycling and protecting my privacy. Well, once you get a smartphone, you can throw privacy out the window because they're going to know where you're at every minute of the day. Now we'll see what's in the box. This is my first smartphone. Probably told you that before. My last 3G, the browser and the connection, it's a track phone that it quit working years ago actually. But I have so many devices, you know, I got a desktop, I have a tablet, but they don't do me any good when I'm out and about. So here's we see what's in the box. I've been working with computers since 1975. I'm just going to dump it. There we go. That's everything out of the box. We have a USB charger type thing. And we have a USB cord type thing. Big on one end, small on the other. We have a legal, safety, and regulatory information. I'm going to spend a lot of time not reading that. And we have the Moto E5 Meet Your New Phone. I'll spend a lot of time reading that. And a little cardboard thing there that covers it. When I was doing the looking up stuff about the E5, we talked about the back being slippery. You can see there's no traction there anyway, so I'll probably be buying a case for it. You can get them on eBay, shipped to the house for $7. So now we're going to go to figure out what we got to do to activate this. But before we do that, I can tell you this is a 16 gigabyte model, and I have a number on my old phone, and I'm going to try and port that number. That might be take all afternoon, because that I'm not familiar with. I will have to figure that out. I want to keep my old number. When I signed up for the phone, I told them what my old number was, but I don't know if they were able to transfer it. If when I turn this on, it's going to have my new number or my old number. I don't know if it has a new number in there. So that's going to be a real issue. Here's the blue ready, set, activate, and it says don't turn on your phone yet. On the inside cover it says keep your Android off. Before you can use your new phone, you need to activate it. Don't turn on your phone. So, my goodness, I'm not turning that on yet. Get online to activate. Follow these steps for activation. You'll need your Xfinity credentials to log in and get started. And then look out for an email. Well, heck, let's go in there and to the desktop and get started. Okay, here we are at my Xfinity Mobile. xfinitymobile.com/activate. And we're going to go down here to the bottom and start activating. Do I have a copy of my bill? We'll need information from your previous carrier to transfer your number. Hell no, track phone never had a bill. That might be a problem. My account number. There is no account number. This is where it's going to get. This is where it's going to hurt. I'm going to put the phone down and bang on this, figure it out. And now that I've entered all that information, it's telling me with the phone still off, press activate. Well, we'll find out whether we were successful or not. Usually takes about 3 minutes or up to 24 hours. How about that? Well, they said I'm going to get an email, so we'll find out. Why did I pick Xfinity Mobile? Rule number 1, and like I mentioned, this is my first smartphone because paying $45 to make phone calls when I have a landline or more is just not in my bloodstream. That's why I had a track phone for 6 years, and before that it was a Sanyo flip phone on T-Mobile, and that drove me nuts. That was like 15 or 20 bucks a month. And before that I had a Nokia that was $10 a month, but back then there was no cell phone tower, so that was like buying a roll of toilet paper. It was good for the same thing. Well, anyway, this Moto E5 is going to cost me $5 a month for unlimited talk and text, and because it immediately hooks up to Xfinity hotspots for data, I don't pay for that. If I do call down one piece of data when I'm not within range of a hotspot, then I'll pay $12 for a gigabyte. That ain't happening. I'm not pulling down data in the middle of Walmart. Now, if I go to a Steeler game, hotspot. If I go to a Penguins game, hotspot. Guess what I got right here in my house? I'm a hotspot. Everybody's a hotspot if you got Xfinity. Well, all you have to do is go to your Xfinity page and turn on your hotspot if you haven't done that already. There's an enable thing in your account. It's not hard to do. I just double checked mine to make sure I had it. And the whole work that, oh, I forgot to mention, Xfinity runs on Verizon towers. So if you have good Verizon service in your area, then you'll have good service when you are on a cell phone tower instead of the hotspot. And it also goes internationally without any problems whatsoever, according to what I read. I've only left the country once in the last 15 years, so that's not really an issue either. So I picked Xfinity's Mobile because of it's going to cost me $5 a month, and that's for the phone. The rest of it is zero. I already have Xfinity phone and Xfinity internet and all that, TV and whatnot. It cost me a couple $100 a month, so getting the phone for free is pretty cool. The other thing was Xfinity only has one Android model available in Motorola that's a economical phone. They have some in the Galaxy line that are hundreds of dollars, and they're loaded with Apple phones. They're basically trying to sell you an Apple right out of the box. But this was the only cheap phone they had. I could have went and bought an unlocked phone that was better, but then I wasn't sure. I had to travel to go get a SIM card, blah blah blah. I'm not going to use this phone that much, so it's plenty for me. That's why I selected Xfinity. We still haven't activated it yet. We're working on that. So it's been a couple hours since we tried to port our number through Xfinity. Haven't heard anything back from them yet, so I came back in here to look around and see what else. And I'm saying, what's all this writing down the bottom of the box? Well, guess what? It's the battery. They never say anything about the battery and all that paperwork. Either that or it's a chocolate bar. So I guess we're going to have to take the back off our phone and put in the battery. It's supposed to, it says you're supposed to open the back by putting your finger in this notch that's in the lower right hand corner of the phone. And we're going to give that a shot. I worked my fingernail around the edges instead of just pulling on it like they show in the picture, because there's so many little places where it grips and has to click off that I thought if I pulled on the top I might actually snap it, because this is really light material here. And so I worked my fingernail around, whole way around the edge to get it to pop. I imagine you could use a credit card to do the same thing, or a piece of cardboard, something non-metallic. Your battery has 3 gold contacts on one end, and you can see in the phone there's 3 gold contacts. Line those 2 up, 3 up, and just lay the battery in place. And I'll snap the cover back on. I'm going to start at the bottom and work my way up. That's it. It goes back on really easily. Now I still don't want to turn it on because we haven't been activated yet. I'm going to go put it on the charger. Okay, we're going to plug it in, see what happens. Charging light came on. And it's 59% charged. It arrived at the house 59% charged. So if you plan on getting your new phone and hitting the time for the night, you might want to charge it up before you leave. My goodness, the hardest thing I've come across yet is getting this activate now plastic off of there, but I just found there's right on the other side of this gray thing, there's a little wee piece cut out of it that you can pick at with your thumb, because you can't get it from the edges. But there is a little slot right here you can pick at. Boy, that's going to make it a heck of a lot easier. I just got it started, so I know it's going to work. Victory is mine. I got it off by picking at that little wee slot right there. I had to call Xfinity on my regular phone and talk to an agent because my porting of my track phone number did not work. When I keyed it in on the thing, I got an email saying that there was a glitch, and they wanted my track phone account number, I don't think TracFone has account numbers. They just have your SIM number and your SIM card on your old TracFone. It's an ICC-ID number, not an IMIE, whatever the hell they have now. They totally changed everything. So the agent said she's going to call TracFone, track me down, and see if they can port the number. She said she's going to call me back in 15 minutes. I knew this was going to be a problem. As I stated, porting my number from TracFone was a problem. It's a full 24 hours later. And I called Xfinity last night or yesterday afternoon after I recorded for a while, and the girl said she'd call me back in 15 minutes. That never happened. Today I was on the phone for an hour and 15 minutes with two different people. The holdup was my TracFone PIN. TracFone doesn't use pins, so I thought I knew what my PIN was because I always use the same PIN. And turns out that the PIN in TracFone account is blank. So if I gave it a number, it didn't recognize it. So Xfinity had to get on the phone with India, the TracFone guy, and he helped me create a PIN, and then he gave the PIN to Xfinity, and 10 minutes later I had an activated phone. So the porting process was extremely difficult from TracFone. It's just the way the system works. So now I'm attached. I have my old number in here and it's ready to use. I just have to go through some setups. They want to know my Google account, all that kind of stuff. So we're going to proceed with that off camera. Well, we're all hooked up and went through all the steps to establish our connection with my Google account and with Pittsburgh Pap YouTube, and to set up the Google Assistant. So if I say, "Okay Google, when did Ted Williams die?"
Ted Williams died on July 5, 2002.
There you have it, folks. Old man and his new smartphone. I can really recommend the people at Xfinity how much effort they put into making this happen, and I think the phone's pretty neat, and it certainly is affordable. My bill's going to be $5 a month unless I use data out on the road away from hotspots. So I can highly recommend this. I'm going to have to figure out how to extend my screen time so it's not always shutting off, and then learn how to talk to this thing, because it's certainly want to talk back. It's day 2 with our new phone, and the voicemail box won't work. It's a known issue with Motorola E5 Play on Xfinity, and I'm waiting for Tier 2 representative. I already did a chat window with a Tier 1 and a voice contact with a Tier 1 who's passed me up to a Tier 2, and they're trying to resolve it. There's an hour and 32 minutes I'll never get back. I still don't have a voicemail, so they told me to go to my local store, which is 6 miles away, so I'll have to plan that. Day 4 with my Motorola E5 Play, and I mentioned the voicemail issue, which magically was corrected this morning. In my notifications it said that the Xfinity voicemail app had been updated overnight, and so I said, well, that looks interesting. So I tried my voicemail app, and it turned right on, and I went through all the prompts to set up my voicemail box, and it is now fully functional and tested. So it was a 4-day ordeal getting this up to 100%. So now I can say that I have a smartphone. It's my first smartphone. I'm enjoying it. I'm not one of those people who's going to have my face in it all the time, because I have other screens I use. And this is a $5 a month smartphone. That's, to me, is cheaper than my old 3G track phone. So unlimited talk and text, unlimited hotspot data. I've used it in 2 different hotspots since yesterday. I went to the local brewery, signed on to their Wi-Fi, and then automatically connected to an Xfinity hotspot at the winery we go to. So the whole Xfinity thing is working out quite well for me. This Pittsburgh Pap with his new smartphone.